Itsquel, CMNCA, Aichqualawan, Kwanasilam Nala. I would like to acknowledge that this meeting is taking place on the lands of the Hulkaminam speaking people, specifically the Kwamutsan village. The Board of Education is honored to be able to collaboratively walk beside the Kwamutsan, Malahat, Subasis, Hawalt, Penelakut, Timanis, and Layaxan peoples who have cared for this land for thousands of years. May we walk gently on the unceded territories of their lands as we work together to lift up all the Hahasmanam. Motion to adopt the agenda. Moved by Trustee Lise, seconded by Trustee Sousa. All those in favor? Thank you. Approval of the consent agenda. Moved by Trustee Doman, seconded by Trustee Thorne. All those in favor? Thank you. Minutes of the May 6th open board meeting. Moved by Trustee Doman, seconded by Trustee Strachan. All those in favor? Thank you. Recognitions and delegations. So we have two tonight, which is excellent. So I would like to start with the lovely folks sitting in the back. The Board of Education would like to recognize 4 students from the Cowichan Valley School District who competed and won medals at the Skills Canada Provincials held on April 16th in Abbotsford. Cowichan Secondary School student Luke Banks, who earned a bronze medal in automotive at Skills Canada Provincial Competition, is not able to attend tonight. Luke is at Camosun doing his level 1. We're very proud of him and wish him well. We are pleased to have joining us tonight Francis Kelsey students, Christopher Tuber, did I get that right?
Christopher Tuber.
Thank you. Will Baker and Yu Chen Liu, yay, who have recently earned bronze medals at Skills Canada Provincial Robotics Competition. These students have dedicated countless hours designing, building, and testing robots capable of completing a series of complex tasks, including the unexpectedly tricky challenge of launching soft, squishy indoor snowballs. Throughout the process, they demonstrated remarkable perseverance and resilience. During the competition, only 2 drivers could participate, so Will and Christoph took the lead. They faced several setbacks, including volume miscalculations that led to last-minute design adjustments, like stacking robots, and even had to forfeit a match due to a robot turning off at the start of the match. Despite these challenges, the team pushed through and made it to the final rounds. Although a scoring error temporarily placed them higher than their final standing, they handled the correction with maturity and grace. Most importantly, they achieved their original goal, to earn a medal at provincials. They did that, exactly that, bringing home the bronze. The board extends congratulations to Christoph, Will, and Yu Chen for their remarkable achievement at the Skills Canada Provincials. The board is very proud of you young competitors, all your hard work and your dedication. The dedication that took you to get there, and we are pleased to recognize you with a token of our thanks tonight. And before I do that, I would also like to acknowledge their amazing teacher, Christine Hoffman, who transported the robots for the students tonight. So thank you. And then we'll have a demonstration, trustee. Thank you so much. A little token of our thanks for each one of you. Thank you so much. And now, folks, the floor is yours. We would love to see what you do.
So, as previously mentioned, I am Will Baker. This is Christoph Tuber and this is Li Chang. We, as mentioned, went to Abbotsford, and these are our robots. So, some of you, I heard some reaction to the volume miscalculation thing. So, I'm assuming you'd be very interested in seeing our solution. So, Christoph, if you'd like to do the honors. So this was our solution. The main issue was it also accounts for the empty space because we have to place them side by side. So as my robot is significantly longer than Christoph's here, it counted a whole bunch of empty space, like that big. And since the limit is 4 cubic feet, if I remember correctly, that is not very good because that's a whole lot of wasted space. So starting this position, as you can imagine, getting caught on each other's robots could be quite difficult, but we figured out a more or less effective solution. Emphasis on the more or less. I believe if you put the claw down more. There we go. And during the game, my robot was responsible for the shooting of the snowballs. Unfortunately, rotating on soft carpet is significantly difficult as the back of my robot is dragging on the ground. We played on a concrete floor, meaning that wouldn't be of difficulty. So I'll have to place it like this. The snowballs will be loaded in the back using this conveyor system and simply propelled by 2 motors upwards. As it reached the top, I would engage the shooting mechanism. It makes a significant amount of noise, but it will launch snowballs quite far.
I would hit you at the back. So
Yeah, hence why we have not brought any snowballs for now.
Yeah. So my robot was there for stacking. We had like white blocks, and I had to like build a snow fort. So I can like open and close from my floor. Then I had to pick them up and then stack them. And as higher I built, the more points we got. Yeah. So that was precise work. So it's rather slow, but to focus well on precision and not on speed, because if I build it imprecise, the snowboard is going to fall over and we're not getting any points at all.
Yes, the 2 main scoring categories were knocking down the opposing team's snowmen. Each snowman, there were 2, were worth 10 points for a total of 20. So if you could keep your snowman up and the enemy snowman down, then you have 20 points ahead, which is a very significant lead. Additionally, the snow forts are worth, on average, we're able to get I think about 16 to 20 points between the 2 of them. There's 2 different platforms. The higher you stack, the bigger score multiplier you get. Each block is worth 10 points as long as it's on the platform. But as you got higher, it'd be multiplied by 2, 3, and if you were very high up, we never reached that, unfortunately, it'd be times 4. So you have 4 blocks, it'd be 16 points by itself. But that would require stacking rectangular blocks vertically, which is significantly difficult to do with just a simple claw lock.
We normally went for the ×3 multiplier with as many blocks as possible. So yeah.
Yes, and there were some significant technical issues, but luckily as a team we are able to overcome most of them. This entire gear compound design was demonstrated by Christoph so I could build it, and likewise I helped him with some more of the mundane issues that he had difficulty with.
And the last robot.
Yeah. So this is a autonomous bot. So nobody's controlling it. It's just going. So let's just hope that I have it the right way. First, there's a 15-second cooldown because you would press the on button before the match, and it only was allowed to start after the match starts. So there's the cooldown, just a few seconds.
Yes, and this would serve the purpose of, there was a small autonomous area where there were 9 extra snowballs, and our control robots were not allowed to go in there because, of course, it's the autonomous area. So that little guy would push all the snowballs out, and hoping that that's enough space there, it would stop eventually. There we go, and then it would knock them out of the area, and then go back the other way, and knock it back outside.
Yeah.
And this was also extremely essential if opponents got the snowballs into the autonomous area, because every snowball on your side of the field is a point for the opponent, and likewise the other way around. So that was one of the lesser elements, but if you were in a very tight game where both snowmen were down and both blocks, tower forts of a similar height, the amount of snowballs on each side could be the determining factor. And Li Chang was very helpful with keeping our area organized and making sure we were supplied with fresh batteries, as well as contributing some spare parts from his other robot, which unfortunately we're not able to bring here today. It was a shooting design as well, but instead of spinning wheels to launch, it would use a more catapult-like design, where it would be falls out. And one of the most difficult parts of the trip was actually transportation, because as I'm sure those of you who deal with the transportation know, we had to take a school district van, and getting all of the packs stuck in the bottom and all the robots without them flying all over the place was very nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
Because, as you can imagine, if these systems get messed up a little bit, it could throw everything off. Luckily, that didn't happen, but it's something we're constantly aware of whenever we're moving these over significantly.
How long does it take you to build each of these?
Well, most of the construction was done during our second school semester in the robotics class. We did start initial construction and brainstorming ideas during the first semester with our robotics club. And in the second semester, of course, that was the class, so that's where we spent most of the time. Yeah, so, yeah, more or less. We got fairly down to the wire, especially because this design in its initial phases was extremely finicky. One of the main issues I found was mounting the larger wheels to actually get more shooting power, because originally these metal beams were vertical instead of horizontal, but this unfortunately put them in the way of the wheels, which means they couldn't spin. So I had to, well, I guess the term is MacGyver's solution, but it worked out in the end.
Before you were born?
Actually, it's back now. Trustee Lisa, you have a question?
How many people were you competing against?
We were competing against...
8 other teams for a total of 9 teams.
Yes, and those were typically 2 to 3 people a team.
Yeah.
So at most like 20. And there were some very stiff competition, including last year's provincial first place winners, as in the people who'd go off to nationals. They won first place again. They have a very good program up there in North Peace. So we congratulate them on their victory.
Good to know.
Yes.
Thank you for sharing. Trustee Kraft?
So, this requires coding, am I correct?
The autonomous bot, yes. These robots are a lot more about the design aspect because we control them manually through controllers.
Yeah.
But that robot, once it goes, we cannot touch it until the end of the round. So if one thing gets messed up, it's like we can't do anything about it.
So, is there a base language that you have to use for coding?
You can code in a text language, that was your question, but Vex, which is the company that manufactures all these robots, has a site online with simple block codes.
Yeah, I made this with block coding, but the coding for this thing was like really finicky because normally there would be like here and here like a wooden wall, so it would just drive straight and would be guided. But the wooden wall wasn't perfect, so it sometimes would get stuck and then turn around. So I had to readjust how long these things are and how long it's driving a lot of time, and it only was working sometimes. So, but at the end, I would say it worked quite well. But it was a lot of trial and error.
Yes, some other autonomous designs also included a fan to just simply blow the snowballs out of the area, so it wouldn't move at all, it would just use air, and then one which would actually just, because there was a shorter wall in the autonomous area, so other robots could just lift the snowballs over into our autonomous area.
Trustee Doman?
Do we have all these parts in stock at the school in the robotics club? And what happens if you need a part?
Typically, Ms. Hoffman puts them on order, and if the order time is, well, too long, like coming up into the last days of the competition, we just have to make do, unfortunately.
Yeah, we do have a lot.
We do have and we can also 3D print select parts. There are schematics online.
And we also disassemble our robots after we don't have to use them anymore.
Oh, you disassemble them?
Yeah.
This is
It's like killing your baby or something.
Yes, unfortunately. But we have to build new ones for next year anyways.
Oh, okay, well that's...
Trustee Lise?
And that was actually going to be my question. So are the competitions different each year so that you can't, like you were saying last year's provincial team was like,
Yes.
so you take what you learned from this year and...
Yeah, every year Vex designs a different competition. My apologies, Skills Canada, which is partnered with Vex Robotics.
Yeah.
And they design a different one, and we we receive a big rule set that tells us the rules of the game, how it's played, how it's scored, things we're not allowed to do, which include no flammable stuff, no electromagnetic pulse devices, and assumedly no weapons. It doesn't explicitly say.
It says that you're not allowed to destroy other robots.
Yes. So theoretically, also this year we had to wear safety glasses because we were lobbing snowballs around.
Yeah.
Trustees, any other questions before we move on? Trustee Sousa.
It's okay, all good. This is great, you guys. Congratulations. I'm curious about your aspirations when you move on from high school. Do you plan to continue in the robotics field in some sort of way? And I was curious about that, or maybe you guys given much thought beyond where.
So I personally are planning to study chemistry or some kind of science. I really like science, math, and stuff like that. I also took the physics 12 course. But like I'm an international, how you probably noticed by my accent, so I'm not graduating here, I will graduate in Germany and go to university in Germany.
For me, I'm not that sure because I'm also an international student. I'm just recently moved here because my dad worked here, and I think I'm going to graduate here, but I'm not sure like which university I'm going to.
Yeah, and as some of you might have guessed by the fact I'm back here again after talking to you about the leadership to London, my interests are kind of all over the place. So, to be announced, I would like to do robotics as is an interest of mine, but I'm also equally interested in writing, politics, and also the military. So, again, all over the place.
Well, thank you so much for coming to us this evening and showing us this brilliant gift that you have in robotics. We're so incredibly proud of each and every one of you, and keep up the good work, you guys. Thank you for being in our room today. And Christine, thank you for bringing them.
Yeah, so it's like it breaks down when you come in. Thank you.
Harder than we are.
I bought a Roomba.
Yeah, they can fix it.
I'd be okay with that.
They could totally fix whatever we have broken. Thank you.
I wish you all a great day.
You too.
That was phenomenal.
I have another recognition for Joy Wilson. So the Board of Education would like to recognize Shemina Secondary Teacher Joy Wilson for being chosen for the National Geographic Lindblad Expedition Grobensphere Teachers Fellowship. Did I say that right? We are pleased to have Joy joining us tonight. Joy has taught in the Cowichan Valley School District for the past 15 years, and this opportunity will deepen her impact as an educator in the classroom. The National Geographic Fellowship offers a unique opportunity to step outside the traditional classroom and engage in real-world exploration and transform teaching. The fellowship aligns with Joy's goals to grow professionally, connect students to the wider world, and incorporate environmental and geographic literacy into the curriculum. She wants to model lifelong learning and show that teachers can be explorers too. Selected from over 500 applicants, Joy attended training at the National Geographic headquarters in Washington, D.C., where she learned that only 35 teachers were chosen, including 3 from Canada. Her selection was based on essay answers, a review of her teaching portfolio and resume, and a video submission. Joy's expedition to Croatia will take place from August 16th to the 23rd. This is the first Mediterranean expedition by National Geographic, and we are honored to have Joy representing Cowichan on it. The board congratulates you, Joy, for being selected for this teacher fellowship. We're proud of the work that you do and your dedication to our students, our district, and our community, and we're pleased to recognize you with a token of our thank you.
I don't know if I'm supposed to say anything.
If you would like to say something, we would love to.
I applied for this on a whim. My former teacher, Janet Ruay, was a recipient of a Grosvenor Award, and I bumped into her as a new teacher many years ago at Subway restaurant, and she was telling me about her fellowship to the Galapagos Islands. And at that time, I put that thought in the back of my mind and thought, wouldn't that be so neat to win that one day? And so I applied this year. I just felt like it was the right time. I was looking for a challenge in my career. I was at Maple Bay for 8 years previously and was looking for a new challenge, so I jumped on board at Shemina Secondary, which is where I went to high school and graduated from. And I was selected, so it was a very honoring thing to go and to be in a room with such amazing educators. A lot of winners of the fellowship were national teachers in the United States. So me and the other 2 Canadians were kind of looking around the room going, oh, we don't really do things like that in Canada. We don't have these grandiose national state teacher awards like they do in the United States. But we felt very honored to represent Canada. I think the American teachers were very befuddled by it. I'm looking forward to my travels to Croatia, and I'm looking forward even more to bringing it back to Shemina Secondary. I think coming from such a small community myself, it's a great reminder to our students that you don't have to come from somewhere big to do something really remarkable with your life. And so I'm excited to share that with them when I come back.
Thank you, Joy. Please come back and tell us about it.
I will.
Very cool, right?
Yeah.
I remember that.
I remember that too.
All right. Huh. What a great way to start a board meeting. Mr. Sandquist, report of closed meeting, please.
Thank you. The board met in closed session for an hour before open. They received a delegation from the Ministry of Transportation and Transit Consultant regarding median plans for the highway corridor outside of Cowitson Secondary. There were also personnel items, a bargaining update, and facility items discussed.
Thank you. Action list, Mr. Sandquist.
Just going to bring the action list up on the screen. So there are 2 items that were on the action list, and the board will determine if they've both been satisfied by the closed delegation today, and if so, they are completed.
Thank you very much. Superintendent of Schools, 8.1.1, please.
Thank you. Through you, Chair. First item is School District Retirement Dinner, June 9th, 4:30 to 7:30 at the Arbutus Ridge Golf Course. And further details if any trustees wish to receive that information. Next item here is 2024-2025 graduation and district year and events. Attached on page 35 of the agenda package is the updated list of the events. And this reflects that Shemina Secondary and Open Learning are holding their scholarships and bursary presentations during their respective graduation ceremonies. Next item is district scholarship update. Presentations were held during the week of May 5th at each of the secondary schools, and the school district was allotted a total of 76 scholarships for $1,250 each, and a total of $95,000 in scholarships were awarded. Thank you. School calendar for 2025-2026 included on page 36 of your agenda package has now been finalized. The Cowichan Valley Teachers Federation has now confirmed their non-instructional professional development dates for 2025-2026. These are the same dates as previously approved in the school calendar, so no changes to the PODI dates. And the calendar has been updated to reflect early dismissal days. And this calendar is now on the district website, which has been updated with this version and includes the early dismissal dates. Move on to superintendent's updates. I wish to acknowledge and congratulate Louise Thompson for being re-elected as president to the CBTU, and Sean Batty for being newly elected as president for the LCTA. I'd also like to congratulate Erica Roberts for being newly elected as vice president of the CBTU, and Mel Dunster for being newly elected as vice president for the QBA, a local executive. No changes to the USW plant chair, Vicki Miller, and local executive Jason Thompson, Teresa Smith, and Dwayne Melson. And I acknowledge and congratulate Kirsten Timko for being newly elected as chair of DPAC for the 2025-2026 school year. I'd also like to congratulate Lindsay Stewart for being newly elected as the vice chair of DPAC. And thank you to the outgoing DPAC chair, sitting behind me, Carmen Sundstrom, for her years of dedication of service to the DPAC executive. I'd also like to acknowledge Jessica Perry in Rentals for organizing everything for the elections that took place and were held in some of our schools. And no complaints were brought forward, so we're pleased to be able to report that to the board. District Careers team, I'd also like to congratulate Ryan Goff and his team for hosting the Vancouver Island Careers Conference here at in Cowichan Valley at the VIU campus. It was a great event that they had. And Hannah Morales, the coordinator for Indigenous Student Success, for organizing the Nations Rising District Indigenous Student Leadership Conference. Announcements from schools. This year at Alexandra Elementary, they had a dedicated number of grade 6 and 7 basketball players who have continued to play and practice beyond the season. Alexandra hosted Alex Aiken in the winter for a lunchtime game, and recently hosted Quamchin for an opportunity to play against their grade 8 team. On May 7th, the Alexandra team was invited with 100 Alexandra students / fans to play at Quamchin, and players were treated to full stands, scoreboards, and an inside glimpse of where they'll be transitioning to and playing next year. Next item here includes photos. So Maple Bay Elementary. At Maple Bay Elementary, they participate in a variety of physical activities celebrating the diverse skills and abilities of their students. In addition to their amazing PE classes, students access opportunities in the community and during daily physical activity. And part of the fun is trying something new. Moving on to George Bonner. George Bonner Elementary held Jump Rope for Heart on Jump Rope for Heart Day on May 28th. They're sharing photos of all the excitement that's going on through different activities for staying active. And the school raised over $500 for the Heart and Stroke Foundation by selling freezies, along with donations that came in during the Jump Rope event. Paulson Elementary also has a poster and some photos. So they're sharing a poster and photos of recent events at Paulson Elementary. This includes the Community Fire Smart event. Paulson Elementary was happy to host a Friendship Forest cleanup on Saturday, May 31st, and hosted by Ms. Ellison, the Fire Smart coordinator for Lake Cowichan. A small group of volunteers added to a large pile that students had gathered out of the forest through the month. Volunteers focused on clearing invasive species of wood and debris that posed wildfire risk in the forest adjacent to the school. Over 3,500 pounds or 1,500 kilograms was chipped by Ridgeline Tree Chipping, who donated their time and services. Also, in the photos, I'm not sure where they're at, but it's a National Dinosaur Day. And Paulson staff and students celebrated National Dinosaur Day on June 2nd. Staff and students had fun wearing costumes and dinosaur-friendly attire. Dinosaur stuffies, toys, and books made for a fun day of learning. Move on to Chemainus Elementary. Spring highlights, sharing some photos of our recent events at Chemainus Elementary School. Spring concert, Chemainus Elementary intermediate students showcased their talents in a vibrant spring concert. Grade 5-6 girls soccer, Chemainus Elementary was also proud to send a team of grade 5-6 girls to a soccer tournament who represented the school with pride, demonstrating great sportsmanship through both wins and losses. And Jump Rope for Heart, in the support of the Heart Health, school raised over $2,000 for Jump Rope for Heart. Moving on to international students, sharing some highlights from a photo shoot of the new Cowichan Secondary School using international students as, quote, models. The international program will be updating their marketing materials for some of the new pictures. Nations Rising. On Friday, May 30th, our district Indigenous Students Leadership Group hosted the second annual Nations Rising District Indigenous Student Student Leadership Conference at VIU and Cowichan Secondary School. Indigenous student leaders from Cowichan Secondary, Francis Kelsey Secondary, Lake Cowichan Secondary, Shemana Secondary, and Cowichan Valley Open Learning Co-op and Quamajan met and learned together. And thanks again to Coordinator Hannah Morales for her work and organizing this great event. Updates from Francis Kelsey. On May 14th, Francis Kelsey culinary classes went to harvest stinging nettle and other edible native species to use in their Indigenous Food Week celebration. And culinary teacher, Ms. Lee, guided them in using her knowledge passed down from her Métis grandfather. Francis Kelsey also held a rock band mental health concert on May 9th at the end of the Mental Health Week, and the concert raised almost $1,200 for the Canadian mental health. On May 28th, Francis Kelsey students participated in a fun rock, paper, scissors contest and tried their luck in winning beads while meeting new people. That's a good one. Francis Kelsey students Nova Wedman Kent earned silver in the senior girls high jump at the Island High School Track and Field Championships. Congratulations to Nova. And also at Francis Kelsey, a very successful poetry cafe night, always inspiring to watch young people put themselves out and perform and share their art with the world. Well done to all. Moving on to Cowichan Valley Performing Arts Academy, who recently delighted audiences with their vibrant production, You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown, on April 24th and 25th. This beloved musical based on the classic Peanuts comic strip by Charles M. Schulz was brought to life with energy and heart, captivating both young and old alike. Congratulations to everyone involved for their hard work and dedication, which culminated in a truly memorable theatrical experience. Just a reminder, again, this month of June is Pride Month. The Pride flag is flying outside of our building here at the school district office, and many activities are happening at schools to recognize Pride Month. The school district is pleased to be able to support the message of diversity and inclusion represented by those activities. Also, just a reminder to join the Cowichan Valley School District group at the Cowichan Walk and Festival Pride Parade on Sunday, June 22nd. Gather at 10 a.m. at the VIU parking lot, and we will have a banner for all participants from the school district to walk behind. On May 15th and 16th, some of us from the office here were able to participate and attend in the BC School Superintendents Association Island Chapter meeting in Courtenay. Proclaimed, another event then proclaimed by the province of British Columbia in 2011, BC Child and Youth in Care Week is a time for everyone in communities across the province to support and celebrate our province's incredible, diverse young people in government care. So again, that's coming up June 2nd through the 8th. And on September 25th, 2025, this year marks the 45th anniversary of Terry Fox's Marathon of Hope, which again was in 1980, and the launch of a powerful new Finish It campaign, a significant milestone in the Terry Fox Foundation's history. So we look forward to that. I think noted just the list of school visits and check-ins that I took part in as superintendent, and upcoming grads and year-end events that I'm planning to attend. For board action then, National Indigenous Peoples Day, June 21st, 2025. So I'm presenting a motion for the board to recognize National Indigenous Peoples Day, I believe, through the chair.
All right, folks. So we have a motion before us that the Board of Education of School District 79 Cowichan Valley recognizes National Indigenous Peoples Day, June 21st, 2025. Moved by Trustee Sousa, seconded by Trustee Thorne. All those in favor? Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Next item for information here is Quamachin School Annual Update and Reporting. So this is, again, board motion. On June 6, 2023, the board passed a motion for future reporting of the Quamachin campus in June of each year. For the board's information, provided highlights of what is happening at Quamachin. Quamachin School has had another successful year with closed campus. Students have had a variety of clubs and sports to play at lunchtime. Students are being supported by a number of staff who give up their time over lunch to support these clubs and sports, and they appreciated these events fully participated within by the students. They've also had a number of community groups supporting lunch activities such as crafts and chat clubs supported by student nurses and the ICY team. The school continues to provide a number of fun lunch options for students, including booster juice and pizza twice a month, free salad bar and hot lunch daily, the school store where students work and get paid. Students gain serving experience and till experience working in the school store. The store also offers a variety of food options generated for student requests. And I'm happy to report out there have been no issues with the unhoused community interacting with Quamachin students, and parents continue to be supportive of the closed campus. So thank you for continuing to support this event, or not this event, but the closed campus at Quamachin. Community health and safety, York Street Corridor meets twice a month with Assistant Superintendent Jeff Rowan attending as a school district representative. And other members include the RCMP, North Cowichan Bylaw, Duncan Bylaw, BC Ambulance, Canadian Mental Health Association, which is representing Warmland, Mental Health Substance Use, Lookout Overdose Prevention Sites, Cowichan Community Center, and the Cowichan Basket Society. And with the closing of the Quamachin School campus, the group has not seen any students interacting with the unhoused populations and has not raised any concerns on their behalf. The Assistant Superintendent brings concerns on behalf of the school district, which mainly focuses on keeping the clients of these services off of Quamachin and Alexander and Cowichan school sites. We also have concerns about the encampments that exist on in the Somenos Marsh as it borders Quamachin and Alexander, and we do not want interactions with students and clients at the schools. So I'm presenting again through the chair a motion of the board's for the board's consideration to rescind the annual reporting requirements now that things have settled due to the closed campus model at Quamachin Secondary School. Thank you.
All right, we have a motion before us that the Board of Education of School District 79 Cowichan Valley rescinds the motion of June 6, 2023 open board meeting and makes a recommendation for future reporting in June of each year. Moved by Trustee Thorne, seconded by Trustee Strachan. All had your hands up at the same time. All those in favor? Thank you. And we have a French immersion field trip.
Yes.
To lead on.
So we're looking at page 37 through 39 in your agenda package. I'm presenting a briefing note with motion for the board's consideration with recommendation that the board grants approval to the grade 11 French immersion student exchange with Académie de Lyon for the 2026-27 school year. Tentative suggested dates for the Lyon students to visit in Canada are October 4th to November 1st, 2026. And the Cowichan Valley students then to visit in Lyon, France, March 14th to April 12th, 2027. And again, a motion through the chair.
That the Board of Education of School District 79, Cowichan Valley grants approval in principle to the 2026-2027 grade 11 French immersion student exchange with in Lyon. Moved by Trustee Doman, seconded by Trustee Sousa. All those in favor? Thank you. Thank you for your report.
Thank you.
Mr. Secretary Treasurer, over to you.
Thank you. And on page 40 of your package is an updated capital bylaw. This bylaw update is necessary. The board had previously adopted bylaw CPSD 79-01, and so this is the minor capital projects bylaw. Subsequent to that adoption, the ministry found funding for a third school bus replacement. So the original bylaw had 2, there's now a third, and the bylaw is required to be updated to have that funding arrive for the board. So these will be 3 rear engine school buses. They're not electric, they will be diesel, and we ask for adoption of the updated bylaw.
Any questions before we get moving? You just click on the draw there, Trustee Lizzie. All right, so that the Board of Education of School District 79, Cowichan Valley gives first reading to capital bylaw number 2025-2026-CPSD 79-02, capital plan 2025. Moved by Trustee Lizzie, seconded by Trustee Sousa. All those in favor? Thank you. The Board of Education of School District 79, Cowichan Valley gives second reading to capital bylaw number 2025-26-CPSD 79-02, capital plan 2025-2026. Moved by Trustee Doman, seconded by Trustee Thorne. All those in favor? Thank you. That the Board of Education of School District 79, Cowichan Valley consider 3 readings of capital bylaw number 2025-26-CPSD 79-02, capital plan 2025-26 at this meeting. Moved by Trustee Doman, seconded by Trustee Sousa. All those in favor? Thank you. That the Board of Education of School District 79, Cowichan Valley gives third and final reading to capital bylaw number 2025-26-CPSD 79-02, capital plan 2025-2026. Moved by Trustee Thorne, seconded by Trustee Lizzie. All those in favor? Thank you.
My second action item is in relation to the submission of the 26-27 major capital plan. This is due by the end of this month, and there is a summary of the submission in your package. So I'll just quickly begin by going through the different categories. So we have an opportunity every year to put forward a 5-year wish list, whether or not what would be the number 1 projects if there was funding from the Ministry of Infrastructure to support the school district. And so there's different categories. First would be under addition. So the number 1 project that we would see if there was funding for an addition would be at Maple Bay Elementary, where we're seeing the most enrollment growth and pressure. Moving to new school, if it was to be a new school build, we would be looking out at the Bell McKinnon corridor area. But we also know that build out is a long way down the road. So it's here mainly to put it on the ministry's radar, with not a realistic expectation that next year there would be a new school and the Bell McKinnon corridor, but it would just to highlight the priorities that the board has. What is a significant and probably the number 1 project here would be around renovations at Chemainus Secondary. That's a $12 million project. And it's here because it's also one of the number 1 seismic priorities. And to do projects together makes a lot of sense, and it makes sense from the ministry from an economy of scale. So we have put Chemainus Secondary as the number 1 renovation project. Then moving down, you'll see it on, this is hard to see, I appreciate if you don't have it in front of you, but Chemainus Secondary remains our number 1 on the seismic because it combines with that other project. And then we see Alexander and Quamachin, 2 schools that the board are also aware of have high risk blocks as well. There's not a lot of funding in the seismic envelope right now. The province has stalled out a little bit in that program just because of the costs of the projects that are already in the queue and have been announced have seen significant cost escalation. And then around site acquisition, this would be a priority to have funding for Bill McKinnon site acquisition, just to ensure that there's a site secured for when that development does occur. And so this is what we're putting forth, and it does require a motion of the board to support it before it can be submitted.
Any questions before we get to the motion?
And this motion is in the form as required by the ministry, so it does read a little more unique, a little bit different than our other motions.
In accordance with provisions under section 142(4) of the School Act, the Board of Education of School District 79 Cowichan Valley hereby approves the proposed 5-year capital plan major capital programs for the 2026-2027 as provided for the 5-year capital plan summary for 2026-2027 submitted to the Ministry of Education and Childcare. Moved by Trustee Doma, seconded by Trustee Thorne. All those in favor? Thanks, folks. Thank you. Mr. Sandquist?
Yeah, in prior years, there could be a submission under what's called Building Envelope Program, leaky condo syndrome. We don't have a submission to the ministry currently under that program, and there may also be one under new child care space funding, and we don't have a submission to the ministry under that program either, or we would have 2 additional motions for you. So if you look back to last year, there were more capital programs being submitted.
Thank you, Mr. Sandquist. Superintendent for Board of Information Indigenous Education Council update.
Thank you, through you, Chair. Just a quick update. The Indigenous Education Council met on May 14th and assigned a subcommittee to do work towards draft terms of reference. And this includes, the subcommittee includes Terry Allen, chair and member of the Cowichan Tribes, Roxanne Harris, representing the Cowichan Tribes, and Regina Charlie of the Penelka Tribes. The next meeting for the IEC is scheduled for June 11th.
Last, certainly not least, we have a motion coming in from Climate Action that the Board of Education of School District 79 Cowichan Valley approves the Climate Action Plan as presented. Moved by Trustee Sousa, second by Trustee Croft. Any discussions you would like to say? This has been a long haul and it's been a lot of work. Any last minute things you would like to say before I call the question? Trustee Sousa, I'll go to you first.
Just to say, yeah, it's been an incredible process to go through with everyone around the climate action table. The students have been really inspirational. The staff has been just great and supportive. Our fellow trustees as well. Yeah, it's a document I think to be proud of, and looking forward to moving forward with the actions in it. So I just raise my hands to everyone involved, and onwards we go.
I think it was a long process, but I'd like to also offer that it was a continual, progressive process. It was always moving forward, and it was always certainly largely to do with the leadership of Trustee Sousa. Very collaborative and inclusive. Yeah, and I agree with everything you said about the students, and everyone who participated just had huge opportunities to contribute, and everybody did. I have a question about curriculum, and we talked a lot about curriculum, and it doesn't exactly say more curriculum, but it brought up a question for me, and that is, can a board encourage curriculum around climate change without treading on teacher autonomy?
Superintendent?
Yeah, thank you. Through you, Chair. So teacher autonomy, really through the curriculum, environmental studies, I would suggest that, one of the board goals is environmental stewardship, and moving that forward, that should be part of the school's vessel as well, and so we should be encouraging and supporting that work to be happening in the classroom. Teacher autonomy wouldn't necessarily override the board goals. You know, they could choose how it's taught, but not sort of what they're teaching. So, so we would certainly expect that there would be conversations in the classrooms and curricular areas around climate change.
So the board can encourage
Through
more
the,
curriculum or more?
Through the strategic plan, I believe that that's already been done.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Trustee Lezak.
I would really like to echo the voices of the students that supported this project. Just sitting in dialogue with them at the table was brilliant. Their vision for our future really provides hope that the next generation that's following behind us is going to do far better than we did. And what I would also like to share is that during this process, we got to explore a lot of different climate action plans from a lot of different places. And I would just like to say that this one is top notch, and I am so proud of this work. So great job, everybody.
And I would like to say that we had some growing pains in the beginning, but Trustee Sousa and former superintendent and myself, we really kind of figured it out. And I appreciate the growth that we all went through in trying to figure out where this was going to go, and it made it, which is very exciting. But I would like the rest of the board to know that there was several meetings where the adults were outweighed by the kids. There was more kids than there was adults in the room. And I think that's what really drove the committee even harder, was that we had so many kids in the room. And, you know, we had some elementary school kids in the room, which was very exciting. So we had it from a lot of different age groups. And so I was pretty excited to be able to take a back seat and watch this go. And I was really excited that it made it here. So congratulations to Trustee Sousa and the Climate Action Advisory Committee. So all of those in favor? Motion carries. Upcoming meeting calendar of events. So folks, please note September schedule is on there. Mark your calendars, because when y'all go off on holidays, you might forget when you come back that you have some commitments in September. Moving on to correspondence, nothing new. Question period. If we have anybody online or in the gallery that would like to ask a question, now would be a good time.
Sure, we do have online attendance, so we can just wait. If those individuals wish to put a question in the Q&A, we'll monitor.
Thank you.
Yes. While we wait, took a number of photographs of our process together as a climate action committee, and I'm wondering if people would be interested in me circulating internally the photos just to kind of give you a sense of the room and just the setup and things like that. If there's interest in that.
I particularly liked our little group photo at the end of the last meeting. That was fun.
Oh, yeah, that needs to be shared. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Who took that?
No questions coming in online?
Excellent. So motion to adjourn, moved by Trustee Sousa, seconded by Trustee Dolman. All those in favor? Thank you. And for those that are